Okay. Hello, everyone. Let's wait for some people to arrive. Shouldn't we be seeing a screen that says what this is? Content producer, like showing us the title card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, hello, everyone, and welcome to Roast My Portfolio. In this event, we will be destroying design portfolios for the greater good of the design community. And we have a couple of guests here. Really happy to have you all here. We're doing this live, and it's always cool, and it's always a little bit awkward in the beginning whenever we do live events, because in the beginning it's just like we're figuring out, like, is people here, are people not here? But we can see that there's already like almost 40 people here, so that's kind of a crowded small room. Like a classroom. It's just like crowded. That's a vibe that I'm getting right now. So today we're going to be doing roasting portfolios, and we'll be destroying design portfolios for the greater good of the design community. And we have handpicked two lucky, or should we say unlucky, design portfolios from the Blush community submissions to get absolutely roasted by our guest panel today. So let's all gather around and get together and around the roasting fire. and yeah, we'll just do it here. So our guest today, we have two guests. We have Alexa and Charles. I'll let Alexa introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexa. So excited to be here. I'm a designer and a content creator. And on YouTube, I create videos about design, careers in tech, life. Over the last 9 years, I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area and recently relocated to San Diego. So making some videos about that experience as well. My background is in graphic design, but I got into digital product design for most of my professional career. Most recently, I transitioned careers into design operations. I'm now a design program manager at Zendesk, where I'm focused on community engagement, which is to say I'm focused on fostering connection, growing teams, and designing memorable experiences. So super excited to be here for the roast. Pablo, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so cool to have you here, Alexa. And next, we also have Charles Patterson, who is the senior product designer at Envision, and he designs tools for other product designers. And I think
designers.
Sometimes you use the product design tool to design the other
design inception.
You get into an inception kind of style. But I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit more. Tell us a little bit more about you, Charles.
Yes, thank you, Pablo. Hello, everyone. My name's Charles Patterson. I am from Envision. I live in London, and I am super excited to roast some portfolios today, but not too roasty. Like nicely roasted.
Yes, just toasted enough.
Yeah, just toasty.
Toast. Just toast. Is that a roast? Is a toast? I like it. Cheers. Yes, exactly. I would love to know, before we get with our winners, I would love to know from you, what do you think makes a great portfolio? What are the things that you look for in a portfolio?
Go on, mate. I'll let you take it first.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that comes top of mind for me is that the portfolio really has to serve the right purpose. So, I mean, it's maybe a little bit tricky to understand that without talking to people, but often a portfolio is, the purpose is to get a job. So it really has to, I think, speak to that audience. So that's the number one thing. The other thing I look for is a portfolio that is both clearly communicates the work, but also has some personality. I like to get to know someone a bit with the portfolio. So yeah, those are kind of the things I'm thinking about.
Love it. What other things do you look for, Charles, in a portfolio?
I think when I'm looking at portfolios, I want everything to be really concise, clearly presented. We're designers, we're very fortunate that we have tangible things to put on our portfolio. And I think that if your portfolio is kind of like, I don't know, you have such an ability to present your work in whatever way possible with all kinds of different media, and that's what I really want to see. I want to see lots of images, but accompanied with like not too much text.
Yeah.
I always get freaked out when someone like puts a whole page of text on their portfolio. I like little bite-sized snippets so I can flow through.
Yes. And I think you're mentioning some of the stuff that we're going to be like giving feedback on, and we have what we call our feedback rubric, and we're going to be checking different things. Number one is personality. I think does it have it? Does the person, do you have a unique take on your work and life? Because we want to know, like when people are looking at your portfolio, we want to know a little bit more about you. So maybe an opportunity to also show your personality. Also, like what you were saying, Charles, like clarity, right? Where it's like, what do you do? Are you being clear about what are the things that you make? Do you communicate it in a clear way? And does the body of work support that? Also, well, the actual pixels, like did you push them the right way? So, and that's on the execution. Can you produce and launch a portfolio website that is functional, accessible, inclusive, and bug-free? Because the portfolio itself is a work too, and we're like checking the portfolio, not just the work that you're presenting there. And last but not least, which I suppose is the most important thing, is the actual content. Are you showing us the true depth of your explorations? And those are the four things that I think we can, whenever we give feedback, we can say that we can talk about like the execution, we can talk about is it clear, the personality, and well, the content itself.
Exactly.
But we can also talk about colors and typography and all that. But yeah, so let's get started. Are you guys ready?
Wait, Pablo, before we get started, I think I should introduce myself because people are probably
Steph,
like, who the heck is this not designer person?
Yes.
With their face in the camera. So I'm Steph. I'm the community lead at Blush, and I will be in the chat, chatting with you guys in the chat. So if you have any comments or anything like that or questions, I'll make sure to bring it up with our fine panel here today.
Awesome. So
now we can roast.
By the way, Steph, you look more as a designer than all of us, by the way. I don't know, you have the look of a really cool designer. You're saying like I'm the only one that is not this, but I'm pretty sure that if you had not said that, everybody would say like that's the coolest designer I've seen.
It's yellow, isn't it? It's all the yellow in my outfit.
Yeah.
The glasses, well, okay, so let's just start where, or we're good. Yeah, let's start. Portfolio in one. You ready? So let me share my screen here, and I'm sharing here the portfolio of Katie. And Katie is a UX designer based in Toronto, and she has a background in retail management and started her UX journey like recently in March, actually, of 2020, like during, like right before the pandemic or right when it was starting. And Katie is especially interested in UX writing and research, and she gravitates towards projects with an emphasis on mental health. So I'm realizing that all of this is just right here. So if you, I was reading from somewhere else and I realized that it's here. Well, this is Katie's portfolio. So let's go over it quickly. So Alexa, what do you think of this hero, the introduction from Katie?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I personally, so my YouTube channel is Hello, I'm Alexa. So I love this, like, hi, hey, howdy, hello. It seems like it gives her some really good personality. Yeah, and the font's kind of fun. It's interesting. It looks unique. And I assume the image on the left is probably an illustration of her, which I also really love. And I'm curious to potentially learn more about that. Maybe she made it. Maybe someone she knows made it. So yeah, super loving that.
It's got character. Yeah. And I want to scroll straight away. You can see the things popping up in there. Great use of gradient, lava gradient.
Oh yeah, over here.
Whenever you can use a gradient, you should use a gradient, right?
Oh, look at the bottom. It says illustration by, and there's like a link out.
Oh,
There's a link to someone else.
I love that.
Cool.
Oh, I like this.
I love
Okay,
the
but
community
we're not with Diana. Diana made the illustration, but I like that she mentioned it though. That's usually as a designer, you're going to be collaborating with other artists, photographers, illustrators, other people, right? So it's good that you give credit when it's due, and it's okay to. I mean, I don't know. I was like, to be honest, I was thinking that Katie had done this, but it's good to know that no, she didn't do it, and she's okay sharing that someone else did it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like it also signals to me that like Katie does give credit when there's collaborators with her work. So I think that's really great to see.
So, what do you think about the introduction? Like her talking about her skills, like the things that she's interested.
I want it to be a little bit bigger, honestly. I like it. I like the setup and whatnot, but I kind of feel like maybe that could be a little bit more exploded, right? Imagine if those boxes were a little bit further down, illustration was a little bit bigger. I mean, I'm just picking on like the actual visuals here. I think that it's great content to have up there when you first land on the page, but I think if that was like a little bit bigger, yeah, maybe she's done some work there with the
Sorry. Oh my God! Sorry.
I feel like it's good to see how they look.
I mean, she's obviously mobile. She's thought about mobile, iPad.
Oh my God! So many windows open. I'm sorry. I just want to. Okay. No. Photoshop quit recently. Sorry about that.
Charles, are you? Oh, I was gonna say, are you kind of thinking that like the hi, hey, howdy, hello, that's like an H1, and maybe that the paragraph below could use another layer of
exactly.
an H2 or something?
Yeah, boost that up a little bit. And this is something that I'm terrible at. But I see that little bit of text there, and I'm like, I'm just going to scroll past that. If that was blown up in the way that the hi, howdy, hello, because when you look at that visually, those are the things that stand out, and then that's the bit that fades away. You've got the gradients at the bottom. You've got a big illustration and a big title. The bigger title, if that text was a little bit bigger, then it would kind of all come together in a way that makes it feel like a hero section, you know?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm going to be devil's advocate here, and I'm going to say that I like the size that she's using. That like if you like for you, maybe she doesn't want you to waste your time reading this, like get into the work right away. And maybe she had done this really big, maybe it would have taken time from you to actually click on one of these things. So maybe Katie's intention is like, hey, no, well, if you want to know more, you can read this, but let's get to the good stuff. That's what I'm hearing here, and that's what I'm seeing. And I like that. I don't know, like the hierarchy that she's giving to this versus this. Versus, like, I would even say like, hey, maybe she could have made this even smaller. But I don't know. That's I'm trying to be a contrarian here. See?
I like it. I do really want to click on those.
On one of these.
Yeah, on the cards. That's
so
I'm instantly drawn to them, right? Like,
yeah. I would say this, that while these are nice, the gradients are nice, like they don't show me exactly what's going on in there. Like I don't know if the gradient has something to do with the actual work. So like I'm a little bit like, I don't know which one to look for, which one to click on. Like if I were someone who was I don't know, maybe for something that like a visual designer or someone, which I think she's not really into that stuff. So maybe, I don't know. I was expecting to see more of the work and not just the name. And then the gradients, are taking a lot of weight. And I wish the work had more weight, and that would make my decision on which one to click a little bit easier. Again, because as someone who is like checking all these things, sometimes you have limited time, so like make the decision for me easier. But I suppose top left is the one that she wants to show because it's the first one on the grid.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should we click it?
Yeah.
Pablo, I was just gonna say, like, I completely agree with where your head's at with that, because especially like, for example, I work at a tech company where our product is more of like a standard like web product. Like, we don't have a mobile product or like weigh heavily in that area. So if I was looking at a portfolio of like relevant work for a job position where I work, I would be looking for something relevant to that.
Yeah.
And if that happens to be that like that fourth project or the third, then like, and I end up clicking on that first one because it's the first one and I can't tell what's going on with the rest of them, then that could have been like that was your shot. Like, that's the one project I'm going to look at as relevant. So totally aligned with you on that.
But the gradients are nice. Sorry, Steph, I think I interrupted you.
I'm wondering if the gradients are like the branding colors.
Yeah, and that's the question also I had. Maybe the gradients have something to do. I'm going to bet that it's random, but I'm willing to be surprised. Maybe there is a meaning behind these colors. So let's click on one of these. Let's click on Haven, and let's remember the gradient. It was, what is this? Pink?
Purple?
Purple? Okay. And this is what? Yellow? Green?
Yeah, yellow.
I'm colorblind, so don't laugh at me.
That might be, people in the chat.
That's purple.
Interesting one. Pablo is. How colorblind are you, Pablo?
I'm pretty colorblind. Okay, by the way, gradient. That was a nice transition. Look at this big gradient. Still, I don't see what's going on. But I suppose I'm intrigued. Maybe that's the intention. It's like, hey, you're in Haven.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is or what that means. The other ones are like brands that I recognize, Google, LinkedIn, but Haven, I have no idea what that is.
Well, let's see what's going on. So, any comments, Alexa or Charles, so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still just trying to figure out what sort of project this is. I would have loved to, if it's not on the thumbnail, I would have at least loved to see at the very top, like, what's like an image of what we're getting into. That's I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, like lead with your work, lead with like visuals. As much as like I loved the candy gradients at the beginning and totally would have clicked on them, I think leading with your work first is what you want, right? You want people to laugh. You want to have, as Pablo was saying earlier, that short window of someone's landed on my site. I want to show them my worth straight away. And even clicking in to one of the sections here, we still haven't really seen any of the work yet. We can still get an idea of Katie's like visual style, but no work yet.
Yeah, and well, maybe I think it might have been a research work, and maybe that's why we're getting a little bit more text. But usually, it's just that I suppose like I am one of those visual creatures that like, yes, well, this is eye candy. I want to be told the story with an image or with something that is going to be in there. And I think even the description would have been really helpful. Like we were trying to understand what Haven was, and maybe just a short description would have helped us, at least in the beginning, where it's like, hey, it's a mobile health companion aimed to improve patient outcomes. Maybe this could have been here. Maybe it could have been also here on the card, just to understand a little bit more. So just another, in case you don't have images, well, a description will help too. But let's keep going. Although this project was conducted using Canvas. Okay.
So I think I like that there's, I like that hierarchy of the typography on the left as like a way to like Haven is a safe space and empathize. It's like I like that I can kind of scan and get a sense of what's going on over there. I'm not. I guess if we keep going down a little bit, does that pattern continue? It's almost like I wish empathize was replaced with problem at the top. Yeah, because usually when I come to a portfolio, I want to try to understand like what's the problem to be solved, what's the challenge, and I look to understand that first before I go into and like look through the work. So yeah, I mean, I like that there's like this difference in hierarchy between the typography, but I'm still trying to, I don't know if I almost wish they were flipped.
Yeah, Michelle in chat is saying it feels like she's selling this product and not her work necessarily.
Yeah, it's like I still don't know what Katie did, and it says like I want to what I found most attractive about UX design was okay, so Katie did some UX design, but I still don't understand what the UX design was about. But well, we're getting to learn a little bit more about Haven, and okay, let's keep going. So the second question, secondary research brought me to my goal for Haven. How might we better? There you go.
Okay.
Connect. So it was a research. There you go. So it was a research case study, research analysis, and these are like Katie did some interviews, or maybe this is just part of that. Let's continue, and we see a persona here as part of the define section. Any comments about this?
Is that an image or is that hard coded?
It is an image, yes.
So I guess if we, if it's like mobile, I wonder how that will scale.
It's going to be a little bit small, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe this is like a nitpicking thing too. Often portfolios I think are reviewed on a computer, so there's a wider screen. But I often I'm checking to see if people have thought of that mobile experience. Yeah. And I just I wonder if there is a way. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to just hard code this in, or if there's a way to open it as an image so you could look. I don't know. I would sort of want it to be more accessible to the various sizes.
I think since it's really the text and the color and everything matches the color and the text of the page,
right.
I thought it was like text here, but I can see that this was more like a deliverable that Katie had, like in a presentation or something, where I suppose she was presenting one of the personas. That's what I'm getting out at here, and that's why I think it's an image instead of like an actual HTML object.
Right. But it does look like it's like native to the website. That's probably where my head was going.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I agree, and I would have been really confused, and then I would have been like, oh, okay, well, let's check this. But what do you think about the actual asset, the actual deliverable? Like the presentation of it and the persona and having a photo. I'm going to think that this photo is a real photo of Dominique, who is the BC Young professional. And at least that's what I'm getting. And I will be very disappointed to know that if this was like a stock photo and this was not real.
Yeah, I think that's where my head's at too, Pablo. I would hope that this was really this person. Otherwise, I mean, I guess we're just speculating, so it's hard to know. But I would hope that this was one of the people that she interviewed.
Yeah.
I think as far as I also am finding it a little bit hard to read the type on the left side. The contrast, I think, is a little bit not enough maybe for some of those colors.
Yeah, pretty colors. It's just like text. It's going to be not very legible, not very readable if you have you combine them this way. But the typeface itself, it's really nice. Maybe if it had been a solid background like this, or maybe with an overlay or something, then or even just like white as this, maybe the text would have popped a little bit better, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's continue. And now we're in the ideate part. And wow, okay, now I'm surprised. I thought it was like it was just research, but now I'm realizing that no, there was some wireframing going on, and there was some design integration. I came up with user tasks for Dominique based on my research insight. And any comments so far?
I feel like this should be. I feel like maybe we're going through this piece in like a linear fashion. How she iterated, how she put her wireframes together and whatnot. I kind of feel like sometimes you want to do the opposite, right? You want to show the big piece and then have like people scroll and like figure stuff out then. Because like that, the imagery there, for instance, like if that was at the top, it would be a little bit more grabbing, and I don't want to scroll a little bit more. So yeah, I'm glad we're starting to see some work.
Oh, we have. Charles, we need we need you to give Katie a coupon or something, so her prototype is not over quota.
Damn. Yes.
Well, that's a bummer.
That is.
But let's continue. So, and I think I agree with what you're saying, Charles. Where, like, I think I see a lot of portfolios that do this, where they show the design process, and they show through, like, they go through the steps, right? And they're telling the story. They're using the design process almost as a clutch, almost as the plot is a design process instead of the actual story, instead of the actual problem. So I don't know. I think it's a good way if you don't know how to tell the story. But usually I would say, like, hey, don't focus on the design process. Well, the design process usually, we all do it. We all have to do it. And by the way, every like company will have a different design process or a different version. So focus more if you're going to be doing this, like, and you want me to keep scrolling, tell me the story. Tell me the story of Dominique, and like start with that, and not about like, hey, empathize, define, prototype, ideate. Those are things that came out of the problem, out of the story that you're building. And so instead of this being the story, the process, make the problem the story. So, exactly. and that's then in that case, like, when you're telling a story and all that, then you have a cover of your story, you have a trailer, and then you start talking about Dominique, and you talk about, like, about Haven, like how Haven is changing, or what your work was that you were doing for this problem to be solved. And then, yeah, you're going to be following the process, but the process is in the background. It's not in the foreground. The process is like playing the drums. It's not the front singer. So make the problem the thing that is in the front, not the thing that that is in, like, almost like Lost. That's playing the maracas. And
but I kind of feel like people also want to show that they understand process, and I think that can be like done in a really short section, like, because I always think in a portfolio you want to be putting your best self forward. You want to just be showing all of your best things, and sometimes, although it is great to show that you understand the process, like presenting wireframes in your portfolio, it shows that you know the process, but also I want to see like the actual like meat of the project.
Charles, something that I typically, I like, the idea that I kind of talk about when I'm talking about portfolios is that I like to think of the top part of the project page as like the movie trailer. It's like I want you to get me excited and interested in understanding of like what's going to happen. And once you've sold me on that idea, and that involves like overview, some images of like the final piece, what kind of project is it, personal, client, school, like what's the problem? You give me understanding that part, and then you can then put the research, the detail, the wireframes potentially, right? Like if you want to put wireframes in your project and that's important to you to show off those skills, like that goes underneath. But unless you've like got that first part right, the top, then I'm probably not gonna spend time digging into that, like the more detail side. So
yeah. I think, it's. I love what you're saying about the trailer, because it is that, like, hey, give me a sneak peek. Tell me what this story is going to be about, and get me interested, so I can just like dive deeper there, and then I'll be more willing to just like read everything that you worked on. So
What's going
yeah.
on at the top, Pablo? What happens when we click on work? Does that take us to like a different place, or is that?
It takes us back to the homepage.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let's just the last part, because we have some next steps, and I think it sounds like one of the next steps is going to be a marketing website and the future impact. What do you think of this section?
I mean, does that actually show some of the product there, or is it? I think it does, and like, so there's actually some of the product, and it's in a tiny image.
Yeah,
it is great.
It is kind of hidden. Show me this.
Massive, and then maybe like have the text overlaid it in a way that, because that's the most engaging piece of content on the page, right? It's exactly what we were saying, in that like images lead, that's what drags me in, and then I like read more about it. So it's a shame to see them. They're there, which is great.
I wonder if the lesson is that if you're going to include something like an Envision prototype on your website, and you're not a paying customer, which is totally fine, to just make sure you also include other images, because I think we're missing out at seeing this work because the prototype isn't working, and so this is what kind of like we're left with.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's something I've even learned. Like wouldn't have thought about that, but now seeing it on Katie's portfolio like this, I'm like, that's definitely something that I would want to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, the work that Katie did for this project was really valuable, and it's really important, and it looks like it's a project that she really cares about, and she was even like opens up and on her reflections about the feeling vulnerable about the things that she found, and it is I think, like, sadly, some of us are more visual, and we want to see the visuals so you can hook us, like, and you can like get us to read this very important problem, to know more about this very important problem. So I think it's you're following the process, Katie. You're put it in a nice way, in a meaningful way. The story is there. Just like bring it to the front. Bring that story to the front. Bring Dominique. Bring those problems. Bring it to the front, and tell me about that. And tell me about the things that you made, and try to challenge yourself to get away from doing the design process the main thing. Like I understand. Like some of us want to see, did you follow the design process? But we're going to see it in between if you actually tell us the story. We're going to realize that if you tell us more about Dominique, then, oh, well, you might have done an interview. You did, like, obviously you had to empathize with Dominique. You understand the problem because you're telling me about the problem. You're telling me more about like what's going on. So all I'm saying is like try to break away from I challenge not just you, Katie, but everyone else who does this. Try to challenge yourself to break away from telling the design process and tell the story instead. And let's do one more. Well, we have to jump to the next one.
Yeah, we do.
We have to, but let's go real quick.
Look
Just
at
la
it,
la
yeah.
la 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 la. Okay. Oh, this one has a video.
Whoa.
Oh, what's going on here?
That's kind of cool, actually. I'm definitely like, oh, I would look at that.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I wish I had seen this up here on the trailer,
Exactly.
on the trailer part, and tell me more about the problem that you did with Google Care over here. And let's continue, and then it ends here. So, and by the way, it's okay if you put it again on the bottom. It's okay if you put it here. Put it here, put a screenshot, I don't know, put something, put a couple of screens that you've made, and then that will get me interested, and I will keep scrolling. So same, I think it's the same feedback that we have, but it's really nice presented. The typography, I love that. Also, Katie did a really great job of like every page almost feels like its own thing, like it's the colors and everything, the styling of it. Like while it keeps the same typeface, it changes the colors and everything. So the branding is different to this project. So I appreciate that extra work. That I don't know, like Katie went the extra mile with that, and I appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure that the other projects are like that. So let's move on to that. Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing this and being vulnerable and just like putting yourself out there. This is hard. We're here like just like judging you, and you're like, yo, what the hell? I'm pretty sure, but like we appreciate you being this brave and just putting your work out there for us to criticize. But also take the feedback that you want, and whatever we like. We don't know what we're talking about too. So whatever you say, we say.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not the feedback for you. Just like
it's funny. The chat is a little divided on like how much of the process you should show.
Yeah, I know. I for me it is. I am one of the bandit on those like don't show the process. I mean, show the process if you don't have. Usually, when they show the process, you know what it tells me? Like, oh, this is more of a on the junior side. That's what it tells me. And that's okay. I suppose it's telling me that you're following the process and you want to show that you are following that. But for more senior people, I would expect not showing me the process, but actually showing me the story. But I think it's probably I'm asking too much.
Here we go. Next up, Sophie Wang. I want to scroll straight away. Come on, let's give us a little scroll, Pablo.
I want to start playing. And what's going on here with the tower versus that's the queen, right?
I reckon it's all come together.
Oh! Whoa! What the hell? Whoa! What happened there? Bow!
So some background about Sophie. She's an aspiring designer and a third-year student at the University of Waterloo in Canada. She comes from a software background and has only one design internship in her belt. So
very cool.
This is good to know.
There you go.
She's already like working really well with this cool animation.
Hold on. So can you see this trick? It's two images here.
Oh.
And she Sophie, here, this image, which is a static, is not an actual 3D model. It starts rotating and then it starts fading out into the other one that is also static one, and then it's rotated too. So it's two images and it creates that effect. That is really cool. I love that. That is really creative.
I love it.
With intent, visualizing the goal. But also, I don't know about so the tower beats the queen because this is a queen, right? I don't know what
can beat the queen.
The metaphor is going on here.
Pawn can take the queen if it's the right. I mean, I don't know that much about chess, but
this is not a pawn. This is a tower.
Yeah,
no, I know. But I'm saying any chess piece can defeat the
queen. I wonder what this is a metaphor for then, as far as the pieces go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I was like, well, what is the
Michelle
what is the message here?
In chat. Michelle knows what it is.
The rook. Yeah.
So
she's just showing off her skill here, like straight away up front, we can see that Sophie obviously has some animation skills.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you should be doing. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. Because I'm here and I'm intrigued. I want to scroll and then pow! Ah! What did just happen? Anyway, let's continue. Selected work. And we have different from what we just saw, where it's like, hey, there's an image telling me like, hey, this is a mobile app project. This is I suppose it's a desktop. Yeah, it's a desktop project. This one, I don't know, but I like the branding of this.
Oh, also, Sophie, she's been watching these roast lessons. Well, maybe she's taken some of the lessons that we've had from the last couple.
There you go.
She's learning and implementing them. So
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, that glow. And then the color here changes. You see that?
Yeah.
There's a little glow here behind.
Oh,
There's
is that saturation? It goes from like, right? Yeah.
oh, it
It's
is
like-
a saturation effect. You're right.
It's like dropping the sat, and then it comes in. I want to click on it.
Yeah, and let's discuss this because we see like a card here, like a design that Sophie made, and I'm going to say that I really love that with little information, I know what this is about. There's a short description, there's a title, but also what I suppose it was her role. Like she worked on the product design, and this was an internship. That's really cool. That's really useful for me. And also date. Like I can see, it's like, oh, okay, it's like a year oldish. So potentially, like all of us, she has done more work and hasn't updated her portfolio. Like we all do that, by the way. So I will be a little bit more like she's in the junior side. Like I would say like, oh, 1 month from the other. Like sometimes the work changes drastically because like you're learning really rapidly. You're like defining a lot of stuff. So I would say like, oh, this was in August 2020. I'm pretty sure that her stuff now it's way better than this too. Anyway, like any comments? Now I'm just talking.
No, I guess I totally agree in that. Like, I think the context is really helpful. I think I'm still sort of, or maybe it's just how I'm looking at this, but the typography on the left is a little bit hard to read. I don't know if it's like contrast, maybe it's a thinner typeface, maybe it just needs to be a little bit bigger, but yeah, there we go. Okay. Shop till you drop, then get paid to do it some more. That's kind of fun. So yeah, that's just like the one thing. But other than that, like I love being able to see the images. I think that's kind of most important because again, if I'm coming in here to click on one for a review for a job, like that's going to be useful information for me to select the right one.
Charles, do you have a comment? No gradients here, by the way. Are you still there, Charles?
Oh,
No,
you
you're
did?
muted.
Oh my god, I've been saying so many roasts.
Oh my God!
All my roasts.
Wow.
No, I'm joking. I have nothing to roast here. I absolutely agree with what's been said. I think maybe these are obviously like Sophie's like best pieces, selected work up front. If she's already got the hover there, why not like bring all of those elements in on hover, make them a little bit bigger? I mean, I really love everything here though. There's a little up arrow there. If I click on that, what's that going to do? Just like take me back up to the top, over on the bottom right.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see the selected work. Oh, I like that it didn't bring me back here, but just to the selected work. I like that.
Yeah, a nice little.
By the way, look at that. It's your move.
Your move.
Wow. That's so
Boom.
fun. I like that.
Yeah, I think here it's your move. Well, I would say like choose one and then make a CTA, but that's just me being nitpicky about like contact me by mail and like make an actual button and then have a secondary option as a LinkedIn or something else. So choose one and then make it easy for me to contact you on your preferred way of contact.
We love a button.
But will you zoom in on the very, very bottom? We saw someone said in the chat. Look at that.
Playing chess and chugging maple syrup in I love it.
That says a lot. That's like character, but like not in your face. Like already we kind of like have a feel of like who Sophie is. And I love those little touches. It's kind of like, you ever like back in the day when I was making websites, opening up code and like seeing people's comments in the code. Just like cute little things like that. That's cute.
Yeah. I think it kind of goes back to what we said at the very beginning, Pablo, about like the ingredients of a good portfolio and that like the personality part. That's totally super successful, I think, with something like this. Yeah.
Totally there. And I agree also with what you're saying, Charles, that it's not in your face, that it's like, hey, it's right there. If you see it, if you're interested, you're going to find this little, I don't know if, what do you call it? Easter egg right there. Although it's not an Easter egg because it's right there, but it's in the bottom. For those who actually care, scroll down all the way to the bottom. Let's click one of these. What do you say? Which one? This one?
Yeah, I'm interested in the first one.
You know that the first thing I always do when I land on a portfolio is I just click the links at the top. I like click through everything. Do you do that? I open something up and I just like start clicking on everything.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious about. I do the same thing.
You can see the like hover effects and stuff.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Here's what we were saying about the trailer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so great to see images at the top. I think that the only thing for me though is that I feel like it still is kind of hard to like see what's going on here. Like they're tilted, and so it's interesting in that it's like a visually interesting element, but I still don't feel like I'm satisfied in like understanding what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I will say this. Whatever you put in a perspective like this with a soft shadow like this, it's gonna look nice. So whatever you put. So like whenever I see these kinds of images, I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm like, it looks nice. It looks that it sounds that you are able to do these things, but show these to me like straight, like square, where I can actually see the details. Because whatever you like, this looks phenomenal. But I want to see it like where you're saying. But I will forgive it here, though. I will be like, hey, you know what? We're still in the trailer. You're still like enticing me to keep scrolling where I'm going to find these screens. So like I will forgive it here, and because it's nice. It's a nice presentation. So let's I will say that. Do you agree with that?
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. I have to say I love this use of typography, like this title, the typeface that she's using here, and then the rest. It almost looks like it's just one size for this and for this. That only this is the one that there's the hierarchy of this is really, really well defined. This is like I don't know, like without having to add a lot of stuff.
It reads well. It reads nicely. It's like concise, compact at the top. You can quickly like get an overview of everything. Got her roles in there.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Weird.
No, we spoke too soon. That's just a little CSS thing that I'm sure
CSS is hard. CSS is hard, and
I'll be surprised not to find these kinds of things.
Yeah, but I think that like this is I would like if I was reviewing this portfolio, I would come straight there and just like read through everything in that overview section to get a clear understanding of the problem and the project. And I think Sophie's just done a great job setting the context here. Yeah,
exactly. And I think totally agree with what you're saying, Alexa. Where it's like I am enticed to read this.
Yeah.
Versus and it's not it's going to take me a little bit, maybe half a minute. And half a minute in internet time is an eternity. And I'm willing to read it and give you that time, someone that's reviewing this, because it's presented so nicely and it's presented so the line length is just long enough for it to not feel like it's going to be like a big block of text. The typeface is like it has really nice contrast of the X height. I don't know. I love it. Well, hold on. Well, let's read it. Have you ever? So Alexa, you already saw this. So tell us, what is this about?
I did a little skim, and I'll have to say the "You Are Not the Only One" part of the intro, I think really like enticed me to keep reading, but I haven't read it in full. I know that there was like a senior product designer and I think a chief customer officer involved. So I think that was interesting to learn about her team. And that so let's see. Over the summer of 2020, I joined as the only product design intern at a SaaS company within the cross-functional team spanning. Within a cross-functional team spanning design, product, and sales. implementation, I took on the task of spearheading the launch of a flexible platform that allows our clients to find innovative ways to differentiate their rewards programs. Interesting.
Nice.
So it's an enterprise software internship project.
Whoa, look at this.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Looks cool.
Love this. This is a nice, I suppose this must be a Photoshop effect or something.
Looks kind of like a receipt, maybe.
What happened here? Sophie, come on. Stuffed in that shadow here, so I don't get to see this. Just a little detail. I'm being nitpicky here, but I always like, I don't show me those hard edges. Let's continue. Requirements and constraints.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Can you click on them? Do they click?
They have a hover effect, but you cannot really do anything with them. So it's just like a constraints, requirements, and presented in a nice way. I think I give extra points for that, going the extra mile to present this. But I was expecting to do
Does
something.
that animate out? Does the circle animate out?
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
See, if like
That's
if all
subtle.
the content like came out on hover as well, maybe you'd like spend more time going through them. I feel like she's gone as far as animating them. But
Boom. I love this. It's like go deep in whatever you want. Whereas like here Sophie is saying like, I did follow a process. I don't want to bore you with it, but if you want to click and learn more, you can click. It's up to you. You know, it's a little bit of both. Whereas like I did follow a process. Here are the use cases. But if I don't want to, like I don't want the page to suffer and also your attention to suffer. So if you want to go deep, you can go deep. So let's see the journey maps. Oh, look at this.
Wow. And I think it just in general has done a good job with the typography because it's consistently, it seems like it's easy to read, and I feel enticed to read it.
Yeah.
Like short chunks of information separated by different header styles. I just think she's done a pretty good job there.
Yeah. This is really nice. Creating a design system. Ooh. Using Sketch. So this is a screenshot, straight up screenshot of like her sketch file, and it's like, look at how organized I am.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is the actual work, you know. This is the stuff that you're going to be using and other people are going to be using, in like showing that you are capable of putting this kind of stuff in an organized way. I don't know, that gives me, at least for a fellow designer, this is like, oh yes, someone that understands this and will be willing to just like name their layers correctly and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that's important when you're looking for a new employee. You want to you're like, oh, okay, this person is organized. Working with them is going to be easy.
Yes.
Right. I love that she's showcasing that.
And let's continue. Apparently there was some work on the style guide too. The icons, the spacing, typography, 4-pixel base scale. They used Roboto, and now we're starting to see the images still rotated. This is a wireframe. It looks.
I love a rotated image.
Yeah. No. These are nice.
I rotate images every day.
Yeah.
It's hard to like actually, look at. I think maybe that's just my take. Unrealistic.
But here they are.
Yes.
It's like, hey, that was just a teaser.
Yes, right.
This is the actual stuff. Sprint planning. Look at this. We have.
Kind of cool. Is it like the wireframe version next to the? That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah. So first, the early iteration, and then it looks like there was another iteration, the final iteration. That is pretty nice, you know. Where it's like, hey, it went from here to here.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It is actually the same page. It has a different home and then gift card. So I suppose it goes inside. And then they got rid of this menu. So now I'm a little bit confused. How do you navigate? But maybe it's over here. It might be over here.
And
So
got a
let's.
little thing in the text here. I think it explains.
Oh, yes.
She's got a little explainer here.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if their tests tell them that, I would say like I don't believe those tests, but I don't know. Maybe the numbers there. Remove the navigation would have always sound like a bad idea for me. That wouldn't sound like friction, but maybe I'm wrong. I obviously don't.
Well, maybe it depends what the goals were, and I think that we didn't see the goals there. But if it were like we want people to like scroll more, because I always think like you put a menu bar in the top left, that's so hard, especially if you're a one-handed iPhone, one-handed phone holder like myself. That is impossible to get up there.
Yeah, getting over here, it's a little hard. Well, they want you to click here so that you can buy it. They don't want you. They want your fingers just here, clicking on the actual product. They don't want you to navigate somewhere else. They want you to keep you here.
I like that that she's got this like explainer text though, like right below the images that speak to like the specific area that she's designing for. I find this approach to just be so useful, especially like reviewing a portfolio like pretty fast. Like I can easily see like this explains the design right above it.
Yeah. Love this. Like the process, the progress of this design.
Oh my God, it's Shop Wang. Shop Wang. Maybe this is actually go up. I swear that's in the logo. Shop Wang on the right. Shop Wang, yeah.
Shop Wang. Yeah, it looks like it was an actual product, yeah. And she delivered on Zeppelin, Sophie, like all the stuff. She's showing some screenshots of like, hey, look, Sophie's left some comments. And this is pretty cool, which is really important. Just like a layer for tablet, like all these kinds of details. It shows that a Sophie is ready to communicate and work with a team and collaborate every step of the process. Let's continue here. Another screenshot with a comment. Boom. Any thoughts about this? Like any thoughts about like actually showing the comments and the screenshot? Is it weird? Do you find it helpful?
I can't read. I'm trying to read it.
What kind of comment is it? Trying to figure that out.
Like context around. I think this is nice. I think it's nice to like show how you work. We're getting like not only insight into the work itself, but how Sophie works as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but sorry, Alexa. This was the delivery, the handoff.
Okay.
So these are like the screenshots of Zeppelin, I suppose.
Right.
Where we can see the design, but also we can see that Sophie left some comments in the actual design. So I suppose like the intention is like, hey, look, I collaborate.
Right, for her team. Got it.
Yeah.
I think that is really interesting.
I think this is the first time I see something like this, where like screenshots of the actual like handoff, whereas with comments, and I don't know, I like it. Final outcomes. Again, screenshot of sketch with all the components, with all the symbols, and then responsive screens, pretty important. Any comments?
Yeah, we might want to think about final comments for Sophie, because we're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
No,
Let's
I
click
feel
on one
like
of
we
these.
always get so deep into these, and I want to keep talking about them. And,
those get.
maybe we should do like one next time.
Let's
and really
play all of these videos. Oh, you cannot play them at the same time. You can only play once. This looks like a prototype that was potentially done in maybe on what do you call it? On Envision, or maybe do you use this kind of cursor?
We do, but I feel like that's the generic default curse that
Yeah.
everyone's using these days. It's hard to tell. But yeah, it would
Yeah.
be good to see like what tool she made this in. You know, seeing like what tools you can use. Like if it's a Framer prototype, Framer prototypes are a little bit harder to put together, but it also shows that she can work with Framer stuff.
Yeah. Look at this. These takeaways are really nice. Like a design for inclusion, use data analytics, confirm hypotheses, and measure success. Wow. This is, and then, I don't know, I like that Sophie gave me a little snippet and then going deeper with longer text.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of this, it's great to see that Sophie has like the prototypes, that she has those skills and like thinking about the takeaways. But I think my favorite part still is how she tied in the process from like wireframe to the final deliverable and tied in like that specific like problem she was solving for in there. Like, I think this is great. I personally am gonna like think about using this process for my next portfolio. So if Sophie's a student or she's new to design, I think she just totally blew me away with this part.
Yeah,
It's good that the junior designer can teach you know, more advanced people some skills.
Yeah.
They've got a fresh eye, a fresh mind.
Yes.
Well, cool. Oh, look, there's more.
Yeah.
Look at Sophie. Hold on, those are not real. You tricked me, Sophie. Oh, she's telling a story. She's telling a story about herself in a visual and using typography in a really nice way. Wow, this about page is awesome. Oh, and she was saying about can you actually play? Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think a lot of great things here from Sophie that we can all learn. I invite everyone else to check the other stuff that she shows. Like it seems like she's following a similar way of showing everything. Pretty nice. And yeah, final thoughts for Sophie?
Pretty great. Little round of applause for Katie and Sophie for being so brave. Sharing their portfolio with us. Thank you.
Yes. Really, really good stuff. Oh, I see there's a lot of, I wasn't looking at the chat. So that's where all the comments were coming from. Okay.
Yes.
This is cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steph, for organizing this and bringing everyone here. And obviously, thank you to Katie and Sophie who share their portfolio. We want to, if anyone in the audience who wants to get roasted, we would love to see your portfolios and we can destroy them.
Yeah, there should be a link in the description of the YouTube page, and you can submit to that. I think I can also just do a quick little link in the chat here for y'all.
Alexa, where can people know more about you? Tell us a little bit about like what project are you working on or something that you want people to know about you, and also if they can follow you or something.
Yeah, I post videos to my YouTube channel, Hello, I'm Alexa, every month, at least 3 videos a month. So definitely go and follow me over there. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at hello_I'm Alexa. I post mostly on Instagram, where I like to share stories, mostly on Instagram stories about design, careers in tech, life. Like I said, I just moved to San Diego. So definitely go over there, give me a follow, say hello, send me a message if you want to keep this conversation going. I love to connect with people.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Yeah, everybody smash that subscribe button and follow Alexa.
Yes,
there you go. That's the information from Alexa.
Thank you.
Now, Charles, tell us a little bit about you.
I have so much to say. What should I say? I want to tell everyone about Design Social Club. Oh, my @ handle here is wrong. There's no E.
No!
There's no ER. It's just PATTSON. Because there's not enough characters. But that is my real name. But anyway, Design Social Club is a Slack community. Design Social. I want to tell everyone about Design Social Club. Get over there. It's literally just a club for designers to hang out with other designers and just chat, shop. We've got lots of other people in there as well. Product people, engineers. There's a place for creatives, and I will drop that in a link later on. Yeah, in the chat there. Thank you.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Don't do the ER. It's just PATTSON at.
It happened. It's funny
There
though,
you
because
go.
people actually think that that's my name. Patterson.
Pops. Okay, well, Charles, Alexa, Steph, thank you so much. Anything else that people need to know, Steph, about these events? Like we do it every 2 weeks?
We've been doing the roast every month. Usually at the end of the month. They're usually not on Mondays, you guys. We usually try to do them on. It's been a very busy month for everybody. So probably try to join us the last Thursday of July. I think will be the next one, and you can submit and on the tech forum in the description, and you can follow us at Blush Design App as well.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, thanks everyone. This was awesome. Hopefully, Katie and Sophie got some insights, and also the people in the audience, like by showing by roasting others. Maybe we all got to learn a little bit more about like the things that we can apply to our own. Okay. Well, bye-bye.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Adiosito. Bye-bye.
Ciao.